personally?
I've done it for longer, so I'll go first. When social media started, I was anti it just because it was something new that I didn't understand. I was kind of in this gray area of I was a bit too old to do it for fun and a bit too young to realize that I probably should go ahead, you know what I mean? Like if you're 50, you're like, well, I better do this. This is how I can keep touch. But when I finally started doing it, and I started my Twitter account for the Brian Buckley Band to kind of raise awareness about it. And then gradually I've sort of been coming to terms with what's going on. We flew down with Toronto and we had a great conversation about, I wish I was more active, and something will occur to me and it'll be, I think it's funny, so it's probably not funny. But it's probably pretty funny. But I'll have a thought, and then a couple days later I'll be like, oh, I should have tweeted that or something. That would have been fun. Or like January 3rd happens, it's like, oh, I forgot to really give like I was thinking it, but it just doesn't yet occur to me. Like I see some people go like, oh, dude, and pull their phone out and go like, time to buy out. I'm like, yeah,
time to share.
Yeah, it doesn't occur to me. It's not good or bad. But the other day I was at a guitar store buying my season 11 present for myself. And I walked down an aisle, and there was I just Twittered, and I took a picture of something because I thought it was really funny, because it was a thing called permanently lubricated nuts. Which in the nuts for a guitar, they hold the strings in place, and I was like, and thinking like,
the world needs to see this.
Thinking like, that's really funny, I should share. And then I carried on. And then a couple days later, I was looking at my pictures, I was going to show somebody a video of Tom or Chef or something. And I was like, oh yeah, the nuts thing, I got to tweet it. So I'm learning. I think it's amazing. That's a very long way to say. I think it's an awesome, wonderful way to let people into your life a little bit, and also to get glimpses into their lives a little bit. And I think when used properly, it's a mixture of personal and ideally letting people know about the causes or things you're passionate about or interested in. And I can recall being a fan of other people before social media happened and being like, oh, I wish I knew something more. I wish I knew what kind of causes they believe. Like, and even we were lucky enough to take part in it one time. But I remember being a kid and being like, man, I wish I knew what was important to Eddie Vedder. Like, I would, honest to God. Luckily, we were then able to, a couple years later, find out that he was raising money for this cause. And you're like, oh, cool. Like, I believe in him as a person. And I think that if he believes in something, all we do, you learn new things and kind of.
What? My turn?
Yeah. That's really interestingly written. I've never seen a pick me sign.
Yes, you have. I flash you one every day.
And every time I tear it.
Look right through my soul. Social media, I'm still in the adjustment period of kind of adapting to the whole social media thing. For me, I have to kind of remind myself to do it, to stay current, and it's, it's not something that I readily think about a lot, because I'm generally thinking about work, or thinking about my family, or thinking about, the fact that I have to see my family in a week, or whatever it is. So for me, I'm like, oh, you know what, I need to stay on top of it, because it is a very, I'll use the term tool, but it's a great tool for us and for you guys that could bring us together. And even though we get to do these things, which I think is an even better situation than just simply tweeting out, hey, Happy New Year, whatever it is, I do feel like that I'm still trying to adjust to the fact that it is a good tool to use to not just get like the word out there about maybe what you're into or what kind of organization that you're supporting or promoting your art as a musician or anything. But I think it's making the world smaller and it's bringing us more together. And I think for that, it's a really, really unique and great thing.
And that's the idea of art, in a sense, also.
Yeah.